Hello students. Today we are going to start lesson number 2, acid, base and salt. In this chapter we are going to learn a detailed study of what is acid, what is base and what is salt. Up to now, what we have learned about acid and base. In the previous classes we have learned some of the ideas of acid and base. What is acid? So obviously you can say that acids are the thing which are sour in taste and which in the litmus paper test it converts the blue litmus paper to red, and while in base we can say that bases are generally bitter in taste and it converts red litmus paper to blue. So litmus paper are for the indication of acid and base solution. Okay, but these two definitions is generally a property based definition. It is not actual definition of acid or base. Okay, so in this chapter we will learn about what makes acid the acid. Okay, what is there inside the acid that it makes it acid, and what is inside the base which makes it base. So we'll learn it in further lectures. So here, first of all, we are going to learn about the chemical properties of acid and base. Okay. So the chemical properties, we mean that how this acid and base are reacting with the other elements. So here some of the basic chemical property of acid and base are given. Okay. First of all, how acid react with metal. Some of the reaction we have already learned in the previous classes. So here, first one, acid plus metal gives salt and hydrogen gas. For example, we have taken acid as HCl, hydrochloric acid, which is acid, with metal, sodium, any metal we can take, with sodium metal, the reaction takes place, chemical reaction takes place, sodium with chlorine makes NaCl, that is salt, sodium chloride, and H will release as hydrogen gas. So commonly acid with metal gives hydrogen gas and respective metal salt it is making. While in base, generally base are not reacting with all the metals. Okay, so because why it is not reacting, because it is that its base chemical property of the base is responsible for that. So base are generally not reacting with metal, but it reacts with some of the metals, that is zinc and aluminium. Zinc and aluminium are the exception because it is quite reactive metal, zinc and aluminium. So base generally react with zinc and aluminium. So here I am taking, for example, base I have taken NaOH, sodium hydroxide is a base, react with zinc metal which makes Na2ZnO2, that is sodium zincate, which is a complex salt. It is not a common salt like this normal salt. It is a simple salt. It is not simple salt, but it is a complex salt, that is Na2ZnO2 with the name is sodium zincate, and hydrogen gas is released. So base with metal, also salt and hydrogen gas, but only with two metals, zinc and aluminium. With aluminium it will make sodium aluminate. Okay? Here it is sodium zincate. But acid react with all the metals. Any acid with any metal gives salt and hydrogen gas. Further, acid with metal carbonate. Right? The carbonate means CO3. So acid with metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, that is HCO3. So with that it makes salt, CO2, carbon dioxide and water. Any metal carbonate or any metal hydrogen carbonate react with acid as it is CO3 carbonate. So carbon dioxide will definitely release. So this reaction, the examples of this is for acid react with Na2CO3, that is sodium carbonate, makes NaCl, chlorine of this and sodium making NaCl, carbon dioxide CO2 and water is released. And for hydrogen carbonate, HCl, NaHCO3, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is also called sodium bicarbonate. With that, it is giving the same reaction, that is NaCl, salt, carbon dioxide and water. So any acid react with carbonate or any react with metal carbonate or bicarbonate, giving salt, carbon dioxide and water. Remember, carbonate, it means it will definitely release carbon dioxide and salt and water. While in base plus metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate, there is no reaction. What is the reason of that? Because metal carbonate or metal bicarbonate are basic in nature. So ultimately base with base, no reaction. Okay, that's why base don't react with metal carbonate, because metal carbonate and metal bicarbonate are basic in nature. Further, what happens when acid and base are mixed together? So acid plus base gives salt and water. See, acid have acidic nature, base have basic nature, but when they both mix together, they cancel each other effect and making salt and water. So the result will not be having any nature, acidic or basic. So we can say that they neutralize each other. So this reaction, acid plus base giving salt and water, is called neutralization reaction, where salt is not having any nature, acidic or basic. So this reaction is called neutralization reaction. For example, acid, that is HCl, hydrochloric acid, other any acid we can take, with base NaOH, sodium hydroxide base, making NaCl, that is salt, and HOH making H2O. So any acid with any base making salt and water. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction. Further, when acid react with metal oxide, see, in the previous classes, we have learned that metal oxides are basic in nature, right? Metal oxides are basic in nature. They have basic nature. So when this acid react with metal oxide, which is a basic in nature, so ultimately this reaction is nothing but the acid plus base, neutralization reaction. So acid plus base making salt and water. So same way, acid and metal oxide making salt and water. For example, acid, metal oxide, that is Na2O, that is sodium oxide. So acid plus metal oxide making sodium react with chlorine, that is NaCl and H2O. Right? It is not a balanced chemical equation, you can balance it. Now HCl plus MgO, magnesium oxide, which is also a metal oxide, that will be having basic nature. So HCl and MgO making respective salt, metal salt, that is MgCl2, magnesium chloride and water. So this reaction is nothing but kind of neutralization reaction, because metal oxides are basic in nature. And same way, base with metal oxide, they don't react, because base and metal oxides are basic in nature. So base and base is not giving any result. But base react with non-metallic oxides. As the metal oxides are basic, similarly non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So base plus acid, again it is a neutralization reaction. So salt and water, because non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So it is giving neutralization reaction. Salt and water is a product. Example, calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, is a base. Metal oxide, carbon is non-metal, so carbon dioxide, CO2, is a non-metallic oxide. So CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide making CaCO3, that is salt, and water, H2O. Similarly, MgOH twice, that is magnesium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide, non-metallic oxide, making MgCO3, salt, and H2O. So this is how the acid and bases and giving some of the very common chemical properties. Okay, some of the very basic chemical properties are here. Further, we will learn about what is actually basic and what is actually base. What makes acid acid and what makes base base. So we'll learn it in the next lecture. Okay, so if you have any doubts related to this topic, you can ask me in the comment section, and if you like this video, please press a like button and share and subscribe